NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
After a quick transition of duel number 1, we welcome you now to the final preliminary in the road to the Great American Sim Race. It is now the Blanchard's Towing and Repair duel number 2. The field is rolling on the back straightaway, and here is your Florida Cabinet Distributors starting lineup. This final 125-miler will determine the next 20 for the Great American Sim Race. Harper and Reed on the front row, and Merck and Lee right there on row 2. Eberhardt, Weiss on row 3. Some big names there. Josh Paul and Ethan Eckert, row 4. Matthew Dula, Kenny Real, Ryan Johnson, and Brandon Broadfoot, your first 6 rows, Jacob.
Then you got Sterling Thies starting in the 13th spot. Logan York starting in 14th. Michael Sturgill and the Animal, Keith Bradley, going to make up row number 8, 15, 16. Garrison Hogan, Dustin Shepard, talked to him last night. He will start in the 18th spot. Cody Neagles start 19th, and Nathaniel Lamb will round out the top 20. Taylor Peacock and MDW making up row number 11.
There's row number 12, and they're going to make one more lap, by the way, down at the front straightaway. Robert Richards, Austin Green on row number 12. Then you've got George Jewell, Matt Cherry, row 13. Row 14, Florida's Caden Diedrich and Philip Martin. Row number 15, top 30, Andrew Santo in the Eagles colors, and to his outside, Tucker McClendon. He'll start 30th. Dan Hagan, Ronnie Foster, Nick Sipple, and Dylan Cardenas. Your top 17 rows right there, Jacob.
Then Matt Garrett, John Darnell the third. After all the chaos that he's went through, all the heartache this week, he was able to make it to the duels. Here today, he will start 36 with Josh Nelm starting in 37th. O.T. Bruce, Tristan Bruce going to start 38th with J.D. Larson 39th. And Joshua Suss rounds out the 40 cars here in duel number 2. Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, your race directors.
There is the starting lineup. Preliminary laps now at 1 to go. We'll come to green next time by. James Wagner's welding. Race details the same as the first. 125 miles, 50 laps, 75% fuel capacity. We're thinking you've got to pit twice. Some people tried to roll the dice and it didn't work. No fast repair, by the way. One attempt at overtime. We used it earlier. And morning conditions. Again, just at the afternoon. Here we go. Wind speed, by the way, Jacob, has picked up. It was like 3 miles an hour in the first race. Now you see the wind speed really getting up to 13 miles an hour. That's something we'll keep an eye on. And that sun beating down on the racetrack in the morning conditions, definitely different than the afternoon and the cloud cover.
Yeah, way different right here. It may challenge how these next-gen cars handle here in the speeds or here in the banking here at Daytona. Might change how the draft's going to be. Might change all kinds of things. The weather on iRacing, folks, is straight up crazy. It's just like the real counterpart what we see probably here in about another 2 weeks for the Daytona 500. But here we go, duel number 2.
Green flag, green flag.
Blanchard's Towing and Repair. Duel 2, green. Taking 20 to lock in your 40-car field for the inaugural NASRA 500, presented by Glass Mechanic. The final chapter to the Great American Sim Race, besides the big show, happens now.
Nathan Brown jumps up.
Yes, sir. How about them Cowboys? Harper to the lead on the opening lap on the outside out of 2.
Yeah, he jumps straight up, jumps right up in front of Cody Reed to the inside. Jeff Merck knows how to get it done in these next-gen cars here at Daytona. Right behind him, you got Eberhardt lined up right behind him. You got Josh Ball inside lane starting to advance. Right behind him, Matt Dula in the Dula Light, 77. He's trying to get it, but Merck's going to take the lead off turn 4.
Remember, opening lap of Duel 1, we had a crash in the grass. This time, perfect formation. working through the line. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're about over 50 shy of 1,000. Merck in the lead. Our buddy in the outside. Merck up top. He leads the way out of 2.
Yeah, this is kind of a home track for him, obviously, from Punta Gorda, Florida. Jeff Merck on the top side. He goes from the top, jumps down to the bottom. He's going to block Everhart. Outside lane. Here comes Nathan Harper on the outside lane. He's getting the shove. Matt Lee right behind him. Door to door, side by side off turn 4 on the second lap.
Merck from Florida, a former NASRA C.O.P.S truck and Rookie of the Year champion in the same year. And now, right now, going up against some of the best that iRacing has to handle. He's on the inside. And now Harper battles back. He'll go to the lead as they work up top into turn 2.
Very clean formation right here. Maybe a little bit of 3 wide back in the back, as we will keep an eye on that transfer spot for the top 20. But up front, Merck on the bottom, Harper up top. Here comes Lee, gives a shove to Harper. On the inside, Everhart gives a shove to Merck. Right behind him, Josh Ball, and also Jackson Baez right there as well. Everybody double file right there for about the front 10 cars. Everybody double file off turn 4.
Harper and Lee, bikes right there on the outside lane. Now Lee pulls out of line from the top, goes to the bottom. He wants to battle Harper for that top spot. And they're going to go up the banking. Do-si-doing into turn number 2, and they two-step the 31 degrees of banking with now Harper and Bice as a 2-car tandem. Merck and Lee, a 2-car tandem on the bottom as they hit the back straightaway.
Yeah, a little square dancing action right here in duel number 2 here at Daytona as Harper up top. He's got Bice right behind him. They may end up getting hung out. No! Wow! I'm telling you, that back got good with Eckert right behind him. He was looking for the middle lane, but he let him down as they're still door to door with Harper and Lee on the front row.
Working back to turn 1, and look at now also Eckert up in that dance, the black and brown car for number 12. He has pushed up under the front and behind the leader Harper. On the inside now, Bice will jump out of line. He'll stay to the inside. Lee will follow. So will Merck. This battle goes on. Working lap 5 at the line. This time by as they work 3, Jacob.
Here we go. Eckert's going to actually dump Harper. He is going to straight up use him up and go to the bottom. Now Eckert, he'll take the lead. Right behind him, Jackson Bice. He's going to go to second. They're going to go from the bottom back up to the top. Use the preferred line. Ethan Eckert up front. Now he's got Bice right behind him. Harper's actually going to get clear. Here comes Kenny Real. He's going to get clear. Brandon Broadfoot on the outside with the animal. Keith Bradley. Inside lane is straight up dying down there on that inside lane. Matthew Lee free falling on the inside lane, but here comes the run. Everhart tries to go with him. He's going to go 3 wide.
That's Everhart, that camouflage Bass Pro Shops Club entry right now behind Lee. And Broadfoot right there in the dance as well, up to the top 5 and 6 spots. And Matt Lee now to the inside, working now. Here they come. He goes on his own up against the outside lane car. Nightmare Esports. Eckert now gets bypassed. Matthew Lee from Maine to the lead. Everhart will be behind him as they work into 1.
And I got a feeling, I don't want to jinx this right now, Wesley Outland, but it looks calm, cool, collected. I might have just jinxed them because they're actually slipping, sliding back there around the Caden Deerditch area right there outside the top 20 where that transfer spot is really heating up. But up front, it is calm, cool, and collected with Matthew Lee. He gets the shove from Everhart on the inside lane, jumps straight up to the top, jumps across the nose of the 012 of Eckert. Jumps up top. Here comes Everhart. He is straight up hung out to dry. Here comes Merck to give him the shove in 3 and 4.
By the way, Blanchard Towing and Repair. Follow them on social media at Blanchard Towing and Repair on Facebook. The final chapter before the field is set of 40 cars of 208 entries going on right now. The NASRA 500. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Bigglesteen Hopton at 3 a.m. Australia time, bringing you the production. And Eckert up in front. Look at now. Eberhardt from the top to the bottom. Side draft alongside Eckert. They battle door to door. Or will they? The outside lane with Merck in a push to Eckert works in 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Eckert tried to get down, maybe try to pull Eberhardt back. Or Eberhardt actually tried to maybe even pull Eckert back, but it didn't work out. That outside lane with Merck up there got that shove on the outside lane with Lee and Bice. They just straight up shot around Eberhardt. Eberhardt had to fall back to Josh Ball on the inside lane to help him out. And now here comes Logan York. York goes up the middle in the 91. The sharp weapon, as we were told earlier on this week, shoots the middle. Here comes Dula. Here comes Tiny Horse. Everybody trying to get 3 wide. They're rustling for real estate down the back stretch.
Well, they called him the sharp weapon. I don't know if he per se liked that nickname, but he's definitely being sharp through the field, working his way up the middle. Clear a path as he climbs his way now into this field in 5th. Ryan Johnson right there in the middle lane also, as he's on board with Dula. 25 miles remained gone here. 25 miles complete, 10 laps completed, I meant to say. 25 miles in. Eckert, Eberhardt, Merck right there as we're door to door again, Jacob in 2.
Yeah, about a 5th of the way through duel number 2, and here we go. A little battle for the lead. Shape it up. Eckert up here. Eberhardt tried to get it done. He's going to end up getting kicked to the middle lane. Here comes Dula. Dula down on the inside. He gets a shove. Tiny Horse, Josh Ball, they're going to line up. York's going to go with Eberhardt as up front. Eckert, Merck, they lead them off of turn number 4, but it is chaos. It is 3 wide literally through the good portion of the field.
Top 10 with 10 complete. Eckert, Merck, Lee, Dula, Bice, Eberhardt, Johnson, Harper, Paul, and York. And that's already flip-flopped since they crossed the scoring pylon. They're back to the lead again, and Eckert gets a push from Dula into turn number 1. Wow, a big bump trap.
Wow, what a block right there by Eckert. He saw it coming, saw Dula make the shot. Now Dula wants to get up here. He wants to lead. Gets his left side tires right down on the double yellow line. Eckert's going to come up. He's going to get the shot from Merck. Merck's going to hang him out. Here comes Bass. Bass is going to give him the shot. 3 wide for the lead. And Duel to it. Daytona there. Door banging over at 3 and 4 as Dula and Tiny Horse will take the lead on 4.
That is Dula on the inside. Johnson right behind him. 77 and 38. And meanwhile, Eckert still battles with Bice and Lee. And Merck, they're watching all this going on lap 12 as they work into turn 1.
NASRA regulars up front. Now Merck will jump up to the top side, see if he can get something rocking and rolling up there. Matt Lee down on the inside, jumps up top. He jumps up in front of Merck. They all get right there in front of Eckert. Here comes Eberhardt. Eberhardt's going to stick it 3 wide. He may end up going to the sucker hole. Nope. Here comes York. They're going to be 3 wide once again going into turn 3. Absolutely incredible racing here at Daytona in duel number 2. Wesley, if this is what we're going to see in the NASRA 500 later on this afternoon, we will all be in for a treat.
2's a party, 3's a crowd, 4 is chaos, and 5 wide is just holy camole. To the line. Working off 4. It is 12 complete now. And Matthew Lee from Maine powers his way back in front of Eckert and Merck to go to the lead as they're back up to make it in 1.
Everybody at home literally on the edge of their seat. Incredible racing we're seeing here in duel number 2. Eckert down on the bottom side. Lee up top. Now Lee's getting the shove from Jeff Merck. Merck all over the back end, literally shoving him going into turn 3. Got to be careful. Don't want to seal off the opening or the radiator right there on the front of the car. You will straight up blow that engine. And Merck has come so far, he does not want to end up costing it just because of some water and oil temps. Lee's got the lead, but for how long? Here comes Eckert.
Eckert inside, Lee up top. He's got to push with Merck and with York. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'd love to get to 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers. It's free, by the way, before we move into the NASRA 500 on this afternoon. 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to coverage begin around 2:45. And right now, the leaders work their way down the super stretch. That's at 3,000 foot back straightaway. Up the banking into 31 degrees in 3 and 4. And Matthew Lee back to the bottom, leads a 4 and off 4.
Lee up front. Now here comes Burke. Down on the bottom, you got Eckert. They're trying to get something mustered up. Inside lane starting to lose a little bit of ground as Merck jumps up a little bit higher, tries to see if he can get a little bit of air on the nose. Logan York right behind him. Right behind him, you got Jackson Boss. Right behind them, you got Nathan Harper. Also, Kenny Real up on this top side, but inside lane with the likes of Ethan Eckert, of Everhart, of Dula, and also of the tiny horse, Ryan Johnson, and also Josh Ball. As here we go, lap traffic up ahead. That is Joshua Sust all by himself. I'm sure race control is pretty much asking him to go all the way to the top side or go below the double yellow line and let this race play out right here, coming to 16 laps in.
This race was planned to have close to a $7,000 purse for everything. It succeeded, exceeded what they were expecting to close to over $10,000. And Jacob, the thing is everybody that makes the NASRA 500 will now get paid for starting the race, and more money has been put through all of the other races. This race right here, I think, pays $150 for winning the Duel. You make money $100, $125 last night for the qualifiers, $100 for winning for the qualifier races Monday through Thursday. All the money that was made, with the exception of production and talent fees for broadcasting and more, has gone right back into the NASRA and the E-Racers pocket for running the NASRA 500.
I'm telling you what, Wesley, that's a lot of beer money on a Saturday night. I'm sure a lot of guys will really be going after it. I'm sure they're not going to blow the whole amount of money on the beer. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of beer that could be bought right there with $2,500 to win at NASRA, even for $150 to try to win these duels. And Matthew Lee, he wants a little bit of beer money. Here comes Merck. He wants him some. Here comes Eckert down on the bottom side. Everhart giving him the shove. Logan York there as well. Dula and Boss as well. Here comes Eckert. Inside, Everhart shoves him by nose off turn 4 for the lead.
And here they come, all four. Lee on the outside. Eckert on the bottom. Mama Baker chiming in. She says, it makes my stomach churn hurt watching, just like watching Baker play basketball. Dawn Merck, I know she's got to be on pins and needles, biting those fingernails rapidly as well. To the back straightaway, watching all this happen up in front. Her husband, Jeff Merck, back to 5th. They work on the back straightaway, closing in on about 50 miles into this one here, Jacob, already. And what great racing we're seeing.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you, Wesley. This has been the best race all week long, but hopefully we do not jinx it. Dula got loose off of turn 2, and Ball had to get out of the gas, but now here comes the run. Inside, Eckert tries to come down. He's not able to do it. Dula comes down a little bit. Might have got scared from what Eckert was doing right there. As Lee tried to give the shove, Lee's going to go down to the bottom. He's going to turn on him. Here comes Lee to the inside. Everhart gives him the shove. Mark tried to get in touch with Eckert, as now Lee jumps back up to the top side. Everhart leads on the inside.
Starting to see a formation now take place on the outside lane behind Matthew Lee. About 11 cars up on the outside, a dozen cars trying to power down on the inside and overtake them. And it will happen. Lee back to the lead. Eckert, Merck right behind them now. And there's a lap car up ahead. He better get out of harm's way. 50 miles in, 75 miles to go. We're 5 to halfway also.
And Austin Green being that lap car, he's going to jump to the top. Might have actually scattered the field just a little bit as the leader is able to shoot by him. Green keeps it right up on the top side. Everybody going to work their way down to the inside. Try to get around him. First car on the inside lane is Kenny Rail. Actually, now Green has actually stalled everybody. He's actually got a little bit of draft. So Keith Bradley, the animal, had to get out of the gas and let Green in line, which may end up making it a little bit more chaotic right behind them. We also do want to talk about that transfer spot back there around the 20th spot. That's where you see Tucker McClendon back there with Taylor Peacock. All these guys still battling it out for that transfer spot. And honestly, it will change every single lap. Tucker's got it right now. Shepard, Sturgill, Reed, Cherry, Bruce, all those guys in vicinity trying to go for it.
Oh,
As
no.
outside lane stacks up hard. Here we go, right there at the transfer spot. I believe that might have been Sterling Thies that got turned, and caution is out.
Sterling Thies, Tucker McClendon, some of those cars right there in that transfer spot going at it. We talked about it with Shepard, Peacock, Cherry, and others. Watch it again here, Jacob. We were talking about it in the top 20. Here it goes.
Yeah, just the stack up right there. I mean, that's what it was right there. You see Taylor Peacock with Thies right behind him. McClendon in the Tennessee colors ends up basically doing like it. I mean, honestly, he dropped the ball kind of like what Tennessee did against Ohio State. I'm not even trying to throw that in there. But anyway, he could have dropped the ball a little bit right there with the stack up right there. There you see Thies tries to get out of the gas, and Tucker just ends up getting him in the left rear, just edits it. I mean, it is what it is. We talked about it all week, Wesley. Stack up, outside lane. Tucker just hits him at the wrong spot, hits him in the left rear, and sends him around. And these stack ups are only going to get worse and worse and worse throughout this race, and also in the NASRA 500.
And this, by the way, has probably been the longest green flag run we have seen since probably Monday in qualifying races earlier in the week. There's a look at the James Wagner's welding, and I got a feeling, Jacob, pit road is about to be a busy place. There's about to be a flurry of virtual activity for tires and fuel. Maybe not tires, but fuel for sure. As right now, you kind of split the race in half if you think about it. 3 laps to halfway. You're thinking right now, this is probably the best time for everybody, I'm thinking, behind the pace car to come to pit road. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, I honestly, if anybody stays out right here, they're screwed. I'll just be honest with you. If it was to go green all the way, and they may even end up being screwed if it goes green the whole way, because there's that possibility that they may not be able to make it, and some of them actually spinning going into the pits.
Wow.
We talked about it, and I'm sure race control has been telling them to get on that left side where the driver's view would be on the right side of that double white line. I'll talk about that here in just a little bit as to why they want that to happen. But you saw some of them spinning, guys coming in,
Matt
they're
Lee.
just taking enough of fuel to make it to the end, and Matt Lee's going to beat them all off pit road.
Diedrich, Merck, Lee, Real, some of the guys coming down off of pit road. Remember, they got to stay on that blend line before they pull back up on the back straightaway. Jacob, we were talking about Matthew Lee way off the pace. Jacob, what do you think's going on with what's going on with Matt?
I will bet you right now I know exactly what that was right there. I think Matthew Lee got caught for speeding on pit road. I will about bet you right now, as I'm looking right here for the entries. I thought, I don't see a black flag, beside his name for the entry list, but you got to think, we talked about it, 60 miles an hour going down pit road, and I'm looking at it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Going into the pits, he was already at 70 miles an hour from what we're being told. That's 10 miles an hour over right there. That's not a super speeder in Georgia, but it will get you a hell of a fine. So Matthew Lee right there, just for that split second, went over 60 miles an hour and done it in prime fashion, I guess you could say, by 10 miles an hour over. That's going to end up costing you.
Matthew Lee busted by NASRA for speeding on pit road entrance, and that takes away all of the momentum he had. We'll take a break. We'll thank our sponsors. We're back with more as the final road to the Great American Sim Race concludes. We're just heading to halfway in Blanchard Towing, Duel 2.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Yeah, we were jamming to a little bit of Baker's Mom Has Got It Going On. Anybody remember the song of the 90s, Stacy's Mom?
Yes.
Has Got It Going On? Yeah, okay.
I don't know who sung it, but I know, but I have heard that song.
Once again, I unveil how old I am, right, Jacob?
What
right?
hit wonders?
What? Wait a minute. Was it One Hit Wonders? Maybe
I
so.
believe so. Well, if I don't know who sung it, then yeah, I'm pretty sure it's One Hit Wonder. Well, I mean, I didn't even know the difference between Ray Akins and Garth Brooks the other night. So yeah, okay, never mind.
Yes, Stacy's Mom is actually sung by Fountains of Wayne, a rock band.
Yeah.
And we're back to green. Halfway, next time high. Of the 125-miler Duel number 2, presented by Blanchard's Towing and Repair. And we're back in our way. Dietrich now, the new car leading in that black, blue, and white 24. Real now, Kenny Real. He's been kind of quiet all morning, Jacob, but now he has popped up at halfway into that second and third spot along with Merck in 3.
Yeah, I mean, and one driver really that we do need to give a attaboy to, and hopefully we didn't jinx him, is that man that you're seeing right there on your screen, which is John Darnell III. I'm telling you, Wesley, I have watched him all week. He's went out there. He's wanted to get a couple of shots to try to be able to make it into the duels. If I'm not mistaken, he had to go to LCQ last night to be able just to race in this sucker here today. So, boy, for John Darnell III, I mean, Wesley, it's like you said, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Here we go. Mark's going to try again. He's going to try to go with the lead. Here comes Logan York on the inside for the lead.
And York now, the sharp weapon, as they called him now all week to the chat box, has now moved to the lead. Under 25 to go. York in front. Eckert second. Merck, Diedrich, Real, Harper, Bice, Dula, Nagels, Peacock, top 10. Oh, and by the way, back in 37th, Matthew Lee, Jacob Reeves. Can he get back in this race? There he is, working in the back of the field all by his lonesome.
I don't think so, because actually it looked like he might have actually had a little bit of contact. He was very slow and still very, very slow on the racetrack at 127, 126 miles an hour. So something amiss on Matthew Lee. That speeding penalty might cost him a shot to try to get into the NASRA 500, but up front we still see Logan York, Ethan Eckert sitting in second, Jeff Merck up here in third, right behind him Derdich, who did not pit, mind you, stayed out. We'll see how that plays out for him. His inside lane starting to advance. Here comes Dula. Here comes the 89 of Dustin Shepard. Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. They're trying to make a run at Logan York.
And York up on that outside lane with a push by Eckert. And Merck right there with him. So is Austin Dietrich. We got a caution. Trouble on the racetrack. We'll find out what's going on. It's John Darnell the third. Nick Simmel. They've crashed into turn 1 and 2. Crash on those cars. There it is. And John Darnell. Jacob Reeves, you're going to get the credit for being the jinx this time on the 099.
Yes, I should not have even said anything.
Second Surf Pro caution of the Duel 2. And watch this, man. Wow.
Yeah, you hate to see that right there. Well, I mean, Dane Hagen, the outside lane kind of stacked up right there a little bit. And Dane Hagen just drives up here, gets him into the left rear just a little bit too much, knocks him sideways, sends him down the track. The other driver that ends up getting involved right there is Nick Sipple. He ends up getting involved. Nick Sipple in the purple 75. And Darnell, wow, got a little bit of air time right there. Oh wow! I mean, I'm telling you, those parts right there where it goes up and down right there, which is where the Rolex 24 would be raced at west of the Outland. That's hard. I mean, that's hard right there, and then you see it literally going through his car a little bit. But check out right there where they was going over where the Rolex 24 would race. That's where he was getting the air at, just riding over it, going backwards. Suppose roof flaps wouldn't have been deployed, he would have been straight up totaled.
We talk about the banking. Look at how banked it is, by the way. Did you see the way the car was literally arcing at an angle before he got rolling again? Watch it one more time. We're going to see this again on a replay here. But if you just saw how literally the car was fighting to get back up the banking from the bottom of the apron. The right and the front and the rear. Watch this again. Oh, there's fighting it. See, fighting it. Look at that.
Yeah, he's just trying to get it
Like he
straight
was
back out.
the car actually getting sideways. Man, Pulse Poppers instant replay, by the way, thanks to the Pulse Poppers fishing lures, by the way. If you didn't know what that is, Pulse Poppers is fishing lures. John Darnell, Nick Sipple, involved in another accident in turn number 1 and 2. We'll go to another caution. 20 laps to go, settling in for the final 50 miles, 75 miles down. Blanchard's Towing and Repair, Duel 2. We're taking 20 to the Great American Sim Race when the flag waves next.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Welcome back to coverage of the Blanchard's Towing and Repair Duel number 2. It all leads up to the Great American Sim Race later on this afternoon. The NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic. Jacob Reeves, I am Wesley Outland. Bigglesdean Hopton on production. Oh boy. Jacob, did you ever think we'd be so close to reaching the end of the rainbow, buddy? That's about to be fun. That's about to be fun, right?
Yeah, it's fixing to get crazy right here at this point right here because, I mean, coming down right here, 20 to go right here in Blanchard's Towing and Recovery Duel number 2. 20 to go, 20 get in. You can't even script that any better, really.
Right.
So that's going to get interesting. That transfer spot right now being held by Dylan Cardenas, Garrison Hogan, Tucker McClendon, Cody Reed, these guys back here trying to get that spot, but also those guys right above that 20th spot like Michael Sturgill, Tristan Bruce, Matt Cherry. They better watch themselves. Keith Bradley's back there as well. Oh, it's going to get good right here coming to 19 to go.
By the way, I guess we called Nick Sipple by the wrong way. My apologies, Joe. It's Nick Sipple. Sipple. No, not Sipple. Not Sipple, it's Sipple. Anyhow, we're back to green.
Here we go. Logan York, top side. Ethan Eckert right behind him. Deerditch up there. Remember, did not pit, stayed out. He may be trying to run it long, see if it'll pay off for him. We'll see how that works out as Dula gets a shot down on the inside. They make contact. Shepard tried to give the shove. York was very aggressive on the block. It ain't going to pay off for him. Now here comes Matt Dula. On the inside, he's going to try to go for the lead. Tiny Horse right behind Shepard, keeping this inside lane, advancing nose to nose. Tight, very tight formation coming off turn 4.
By the way, I'm understanding that Daniel Falkingham and Kyler Wynn are your front row based on their fastest speeds in qualifying earlier this week. That sets up the front row for the 500, and right now it would be Falkingham and Wynn. Field back in the tournament 1 and 2. Duel in the lead though now. 18 remaining, they're in 2.
We'll see how this ends up working out. Matter of fact, Wesley, I think we might need to get clarification on the Falkingham and Wynn on that front row. I believe that there's another driver that's supposed to be there as well. I don't believe that's 100% accurate on that. But Logan York, Ethan Eckert up here on the front row. Here comes Eckert inside Dula. Here comes now Deerditch on the top side. Kenny Ree on the 11. Inside lane getting squirrely. York will take the lead. Deerditch now to second.
17 remaining now as they cross the line. It is now the sharp weapon. York up in front. It is now Eckert on the inside. Reeling in. Diedrich, reel. Look at Peyton Diedrich right there behind York. Keep an eye on that yellow and blue car. Keith Bradley working the high side. He's up into that 6th spot on the outside. The animal is coming, Jacob.
Animal is coming, and he is coming in a hurry right now. He is coming very fast on the outside lane. Y'all, don't try to make that one into a soundbite for that comment, but here we go. Bradley outside. He's trying to get going. Here comes Peacock in the 81. Taylor Peacock to the outside. Matt Cherry trying to help as well, and they're going to put ball in the sucker hole. He will end up having Cody Dangles behind him. All this going on around that transfer spot right here. Coming this time, 15 to go.
And Jacob, Punta Gorda, Florida's number 60. Jeff Merck is out. Massive internet failure puts him on the sideline. That's got to suck. As they come to the line, 15 to go. This time by at the stripe.
Yeah, there'll be a penalty, I guess, for my internet if something like that happened. I'd end up calling them, and I want my money back. We would have beef. Dean, if you want to key up that soundbite for us right there, we got beef right there. I would have had beef now Wednesday Sunday if it would have had, there you go. I would have had it big time if it would have had anything to do with the internet costing me a shot to race for $2,500 later on this afternoon. I'm telling you, I'd be penalizing them. I would want a refund on a couple months of internet out of that right there. At least that would be me.
About 2 hours time. 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go with a pre-race show around 2:45 for the NASRA 500. The biggest endeavor event we've ever done in the inception of the North American Sim Racing Association. In 2020 happens in mere 120 minutes from now. Down the backstretch now. They were in the 2. It is Eckert now in the lead, but how long? York battles back on the bottom. There's that blade ball entry fighting along with Eberhard and keeping up through Jacob.
Here comes Dula, though, on the inside, giving the shove to Eberhard. Deerditch up on that top side, getting the shove from Kenny Reel. Reel's got to slip back just a little bit. Shepard got to slip back. We got him spinning. Bradley back there. might have got involved, but they're going to keep it straight as they're still making moves. Now MDW in the 21 got turned.
They saved it.
Wow.
Sturgill way off the pace of the 90 car, but somehow, my God almighty, they saved it. 13 to go, we still stay green. Eckert and Diedrich fight for the lead in one.
Wow, what moves and what driving abilities right there for a bunch of those drivers. Might have ended up costing a couple of these guys that's back there with that transfer spot were Sterling Thies, MDW, Tristan Bruce, Nathaniel Landwehr, all those guys back there around that transfer spot. But we stay clean, we stay green, and up front, Eckert, York, battling it out. Here comes Eckert. He's going to give the shove to Caden Deerdich, who stayed out. I don't know how he's going to be able to make it on 13 to go. He might have pitted when we didn't even expect him, Dean, if we can see when the pits was on that. But, wow, I mean, Caden Deerdich up front right now. He must have pitted. I thought he stayed out, but here he goes, Deerdich out front.
They all pitted around lap 22. Caden Diedrich pitted as well on lap number 22. And we mentioned right before halfway that was going to be an opportunity to come to the pits. Try to knock it down. It's one pit stop here. We'll see what happens. 12, make it 11 to go as we look at an aerial view. And we're wrecking in the back. Car down below the bottom of the apron.
Yellow.
And there is your Surf Pro caution. I believe that's Landwehr. Nathaniel Landwehr. Bottom of the grass. Caution out. And it is a solo spin. There was contact with another car, Jacob. I just caught the glancing end of it from the back straightaway. But Landwehr was the one that spun down to the inside. Watch it one more time.
You see Landwehr right there kind of.
Oh, McClendon.
Whoa. Damn.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Wesley, I think he tried to go for a hole that wasn't there. Landwehr did. And there you see Thies right there trying to shoot up right behind him. He was trying to get in behind Tucker McClendon. Watch this right here again. Is there you're riding on board with Landwehr. And watch this. You'll see McClendon and the 00 shoot up to the outside or inside rather and shoot to the inside. Watch him. You'll see him. There comes McClendon. He tries to slide in, but he doesn't wait long enough. And obviously Thies was coming honestly real fast on the or right behind him. There you see Thies right there, the 41. But he just made that move just a little bit too early right there. Ended up getting him in the right rear. And then right here, he's just going to dukes a hazard it through the grass, trying to keep it down on the bottom of the racetrack. And that was your Surf Pro caution.
Oh, wow. Did you see where it was up in the air?
Yes.
Slammed back down on the turf. Just a good old boy. Toss it out here as they come to 10 laps to go. 25 miles remain. We'll take a break. This has probably been an entertaining duel. We're ready to see how it stacks up for the finish. A lot of storylines happening. We'll see what happens when the checker falls on the other side next.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the Foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
here at Daytona, and we get ready for a restart here. Caden Diedrich leading the way. Logan York second. We got one to go, though, Dean. We have one to go. Caden Diedrich right now, the leader, real quickly. York in second. That's Logan York up on the high side. He's in second spot. There he is. In third is Ethan Eckert. You see him in the 12, followed by Matthew Dula, fourth. Fifth place is Kenny Reel, right there on the inside of the 11. Then it's Dustin Shepard up top in the 89. Nathan Harper, the Cowboys colors, followed by the machine of Ryan Johnson. Jackson Bice in a 9th spot. Daniel Eberhardt right there in the 33 and the 90 right there in your top 10. Give you the top 20 if we can. Philip Martin is in 11th. Keith Bradley in 12th. There he is. Then it's going to be Taylor Peacock 13th. Matt Cherry in 14th along with Tucker McClendon. Then it's going to be Matthew David Wood, Sterling Thies, followed by George Jewell, Tristan Bruce, and Robert Richards. There he is, the man from NASRA, from Gastonia, trying to make it in. And that final transfer spot, he is in 20th.
That's going to be an interesting spot right there, Wes.
That's right. Buddy Nips, I can't believe you call your name that in the chat box, but I just want to let you know, buddy, we've been calling races since Monday night. We're exhausted, okay? So if we say deer instead of deech or D-ditch, please don't rip us apart.
Green flag.
Yeah.
Back to green. 8 to go. The final 20 miles to determine who's going to the NASRA 500.
And how about Diedrich up there? Also, Buddha Nips out there wanting to talk about how apparently we're saying Thies out there. Buddy, get a job. Diedrich up front. Eckert right behind him. Here we go. York trying to get it up on the outside lane. Dula still trying to give the shove as well. Dustin Shepard right there in that third car outside lane. York's going to jump down. He gets across Diedrich. Diedrich trying to see if he can get going as well. Here it comes. We'll go ahead and put it for you, Buddha Nips. Caden in the 224 on the inside lane, but here comes Eckert right behind him.
Maybe we'll just call him KD, pardon the pun. To the line, 7 to go. He leads the way. Not anymore. He's free falling. What happened to KD? As LY, Logan York is up in front now.
Here we go. Now LY, MD, DS. We'll just go with initials at this point. But here comes York. In all seriousness, he has been up at the front, started 14th, and made a way, got himself up here. Dula done the same thing. KD, who started in the 27th spot, is now sliding up the 4th. York, very aggressive move, jumps down. KD ain't having none of it. He knocked him straight in the back end, sent him up the hill. KD to the lead. Eckert right behind him, and they're wrecking behind him. Caution.
Yellow flag is out. Is Diedrich caught up in the accident? Broadfoot involved. Oh, boy. There it is.
Not Broadfoot.
Our buddy Brandon Broadfoot caught up in the incident. Here's a look at it again, a replay. That's Landwehr. Landwehr into Broadfoot, and there you see them into the fence right there. Oh, boy.
Look like Landwehr just kind of snaps loose right there in the middle lane. Or actually, he was trying to come down the racetrack. This all started with Landwehr, guys. Landwehr kind of snaps a little bit loose, comes down into the back end of Joshua Suss, and then ends up trying to get off Suss. You see him right there in the 80, right there. Landwehr 66, Suss at 80. Suss might have actually came up, but I don't think he could have come up much more than where he was at. He was pinned on the double yellow line. I think Landwehr comes down, and I think it spooks him. He comes up, gets into Broadfoot, ends up sending him up the racetrack.
And another close call for Sturgill as well. Remember, there it is. There's Suss on the inside. And there goes on board with Nathaniel Landwehr and turns right in to our buddy Brandon Broadfoot. Man.
And Broadfoot, I got to be honest with you for a second here, Wesley Outland. I was really wanting to see Brandon Broadfoot have a shot to try to race for this NASRA 500 to be able to race later on today because we listened to him. I can't remember in which qualifier he was in, but he finished up there, locked himself into today. And, dude, he was so happy. He really was. He was so excited. He was so happy. He was just happy to be in that particular situation. I mean, he literally said, he was close to crying. And, a lot of people put a lot of effort into, sim racing. A lot of people put a lot of effort into broadcasting or producing or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel his pain now with Broadfoot sitting right there. I mean, I know that's got to be really tough for him right there. But, I mean, damn, I mean, I was really wanting to see him be able to make this top 20 because he seemed like he was ready to go and he really wanted to be a part of this.
Yeah, tough break for our buddy out of Chico, California, the Marathon Movers Warrior Racing Esports entry. And Caden Diedrich. Did I say it right this time? Butta Nips. Can I say Butta Nips right?
See what he says.
Diedrich is up in front.
You couldn't even get these right neither, so there you go.
York, Eckert, second, third. Dula, fourth. Eberhardt right now, your top 5. As we'll get ready to go for a restart here, and it will be 10 miles remaining when they come back to green. There is a chance at overtime. Don't forget, coming up later on this afternoon, coverage begins at 2:45 Eastern on NASRA 360 Racing Network and CRN all week. And by the way, if we get a name wrong, don't eat our lunch. Don't try to make us look like we're ignorant. There are 210 drivers in 6 days that we've had our damn best level to try to keep up with for everybody. And for somebody with a name called Butta Nips that gets in the chat box and talks smack because you can't even use your real name, I'm sorry, that's cowardly. 4 laps to go. Under 10 miles remain. And that is Wesley's beef segment, Mr. Dean, if you want to queue up We Got Beef, because it just ticks me off, man. And I'll also say something else. Thank goodness they've done a really good job, Jacob, to have the numbers match timing and scoring. Because that used to be something that would irk me to no end. And most of all, hopefully if we do this, or if I do another big iRacing or broadcast again, let's have pronunciations. Maybe that's what we need to do, like I do for real race broadcasts, where you literally have a pronunciation to let us know how to say your name. I mean, I'm just saying, pronunciation maybe. Or maybe you just got to chill the hell out. 4 laps to go, Jacob, as we get ready for a restart, my friend.
Well, I got pulled up to the race control there for a second, which nothing we're doing wrong, but real quick, I didn't get to hear the whole end of it, but I don't want to hear it again. I'm sure everybody else heard it because we're getting a lot of good stuff out there live chat. But go ahead, Dean, if you haven't yet, go ahead and key up the soundbite because I'm sure everybody's waiting on it for the We Got Beef soundbite if we can key it up. But yeah, 4 to go right here. This is going to get good right here. We got Diedrich up there on that front row. York up here as well. Then you got Eckert, Dula. They've been real smart. That transfer spot's what's going to get interesting because you got some guys back here like Tristan Bruce, MDW, Matthew David Wood, that being George Jewell, Robbie Richards currently sitting right now in that transfer spot. Garrison Hogan, Josh Ball, Cody Nagels. How about this right here? Cody Nagels, very, very prime for this super speedway type of racing. He knows how to get it done. He's got to get 3 spots. And if he doesn't get those 3 spots, he's going to be watching later on today from the sidelines. So I'm telling you, this 3 to go right here, this is going to get good.
That's right. 3 laps to go. Pace car is in. And remember, overtime is still a possibility.
Oh, no.
Top 20 transfer as Caden Diedrich right now launches on the outside. York behind him. Dula is there. When will the inside lane work again, Jacob, for Eckert and company?
See if it works out for him as Eckert. Now he's trying to get Eberhardt to give him that big old shove down the inside. Here we go, Dula. Dula jumps down. He's got Shepard with him. York comes down. They're going to hang out on KD. But on the outside, Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson's going to try to line up behind him. Bradley and others in tow with Jackson Boss. They're trying to get going, but inside lane, Logan York basically just took that move and went all the way, and now Matt Dula in the 77. Dula Light. He's going to lead with 2 to go.
2 to go. Top 4 now, swallowed up by that big pack, and I got a feeling, Jacob, a bad moon or a bad sun is on the rise. It's daytime in Daytona. Working now off 2. York, Eckert.
We're going to turn her in the back.
There it is. I knew it. Troubled. All hell breaks loose to the back straightaway. Caution out. We are going to overtime. I just had a feeling it was going to happen.
That is unfortunate back there around the Robbie Richards area back there. Josh Ball in that area.
I think it's Austin Green and a couple of other cars. Let's watch it here. Keep an eye on that black and yellow 187. And here it is right around, oh man, Cody Nagels and Garrett, the MTV car. There it is. And there's Green. Nowhere to go for him. He got turned into by a couple of other cars. One car going in the wrong direction. Is that Robert Richards? Oh my goodness.
Yes, it is.
Robert Richards, what a tough break for our buddy out of Gastonia.
Well, I mean, this right here is where it all started right here with Robbie Richards from what we were seeing right there. You see some guys get put in the fence. There's Josh Ball in the one, basically put him in the fence right there. And Robbie comes off the fence, comes back down, and Ball was there, ends up hooking him around. And I'm not 100% why he was up that high or why Ball was up that high. I know why Richards was, because Richards was in the fence because Ball was putting him there. But at the same time, I don't know why Ball was running up as high as he was. He had a little bit of room down there on that inside lane, because Garrett was not even close to him. So Ball had room to kind of come down. I mean, you could run 3 wide here, but there's no sense in trying to fence somebody off of turn number 2 back there around the transfer spot, mind you. But that's just not a way to do it right there.
Another angle. Watch this again. Look at Nick Seipel. I think I got it right this time. Thank you, Tom. Seipel. Nick Seipel's car. I'm sorry, the wording looked like it was Sipple. Nick Seipel, again, caught up in it. Josh Ball, Robert Richards, and Austin Green. Another angle on it again. And what a tough break for Cody Nagels right there. I think he just weaseled by it, Jacob. He's okay in the green 6.
Yeah, I mean, he is A-okay from what it looks like, but he's still going to be right there in a pretty tight spot right there, trying to get that transfer spot, which right now is occupied by MDW Matthew David Wood. There you see Cody Nagels right there in the 6, right behind him. He might have had a little bit to do with that right there. I don't know 100%, but he's the one that got in the Ball. But, I mean, Richards was already coming down. They was going to make contact. The Ball was going around one way or another. But, I'll put it on Ball. I ain't going to put it on Cody because Cody ended up hitting him anyway in the back end. Literally, he hit him in the back bumper at the same time Richards come down and got into him. But at the same time, if Ball, as you see right here, you get a very good angle of this. Watch what happens right here. Ball's going to slide up right here and basically just forces him up there. Richards was already there. He almost got to the fence as it was, but then Ball just kept coming up and basically just put him there. Richards has got to come off a wall sometime. He ends up hooking him around.
The first duel presented by Hope for Foundation was a overtime finish. They were able to race to the checkered flag, and now we set up for Blanchard's Towing and Repair duel number 2 to be an overtime finish. Who will be the 20 drivers to go into the NASRA 500? Less than T-minus 2 hours to countdown to the Great American Sim Race. The NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic. Champions of Hope Foundation and Blanchard's Towing and Recovery duels. And by the way, with the exception of one qualifying race, Jacob Reeves, every darn single qualifying race and last chance qualifier, and now the duels have gone into overtime.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Honestly, I mean, I mean, it really is. I mean, to a certain extent, Wesley. I mean, you think about it. You know, with all these, you know, fields and these big fields, you know, that we've seen right here with these cars, we were bound to see wrecks. I mean, you know, we didn't actually think we was going to come out here and see, you know, 15, 16, 17 straight races where we wasn't going to have a caution. Did we? I mean, absolutely, somebody's going to have a caution. But the overtimes, you can look at it both ways. I talked about it the other night. You look at it as the fact of, well, yeah, I can see overtimes coming because everybody's going to be pushing it right there at the end to try to get everything that they can. At the same time, when they push them, sometimes here lately, some of these going into overtimes could have really been prevented with some of the moves that we were seeing. But, hey, it's the NASRA 500. We've already talked about it, one of the biggest purses probably on iRacing here as of this month and probably in the months to come. I'm telling you, everybody wants to be a part of it. And, hey, if you got to spend somebody out for it, I guess it's okay, I guess. I mean, but I don't know how I can live with myself to spend somebody out, but people want it that bad.
Jacob, before we come back to green, something we talked about in our pre-race meeting this morning, and that was something that they're enforcing that Timothy Hammond got punished for last night, and that is jumping the restarts or going below your lane, switching lanes. That's something we're watching here for sure. NASRA officials are.
Yeah, not only the front guys, but even guys back there in the back. It doesn't matter. I mean, just even the front, you know, everybody back there in the back, they are still, or they still got to abide by those rules, Wesley. So be interested right here on this restart. You would hate to see yourself get knocked out of a spot for the NASRA 500 on a rule like that.
Back underway. I stand corrected again. I guess Duel 1 did not go to overtime. I apologize. So one qualifying race and one overtime, and we got trouble directing. And there it is. It's over. It's over, damn it. Checkered flag. The man they call the sharp missile. The sharp weapon, Logan York, is going to win here in overtime. He will come around. Hang on before you go to replay, Jacob, please, Dean. He'll come around. He'll take the 1 lap to go. Let's acknowledge our sponsors, and then we'll show a replay. West Texas Pepper Traders, 1 to go, should be waving.
Oh, it's another green-white checkered. There's 3 attempts at this one, Wesley. Apparently,
they advertised it as 1.
We got another one right here according to that.
The darn memo. That's all I got to say about that, folks. I guess we're going to another overtime. It is not over, everybody. I'm sorry. I did not get the darn memo on that. Somebody has muffed up on the NASRA side of letting us know. We were told 1 attempt. I guess it's going to be 3 attempts at overtime. So we will now get ready for a second one. Let's go to break, please, Dean. Let's go to break. I'll be right back. Let's go to break. Everybody, we've been told from our NASRA race control that it will be 3 attempts at a green-white checker. Our apologies. We were not expecting that. We were under the impression that it was 1. And I'll apologize to our audience for that one, Jacob, because I really thought the race was over too.
I thought it was too, but here you go. I mean, this is kind of what happened back here in the back. Looks like it's Dane Hagan that's going to end up getting hooked around by Nick Seipel right there. All this back there around the 30th place. I mean, honestly, there you see Hagan goes around. John Darnell, the 3rd, ends up going around. He tries to save it. I mean, I'll tell you what, Darnell, boy, he was all over the place trying to save it. He almost did. Slid it up, got up into the fence. Oh, baby, I'm telling you, that was a ride right there for Darnell trying to get through it. And check it out once again right here, Nick Seipel right here. Stack up once again on the outside. Seipel tries to jump down right there, but he didn't jump down far enough. I mean, he had a car on the inside lane, but at the same time, he didn't jump down far enough and ends up getting into Dane Hagen and spins him around.
Troy Elliott, you got one more time to try to tell me how to do my job, buddy, and you're going to be banned from the rest of the NASRA 500. Okay? We've been preparing for this damn race for 2 months, and we were under the impression that it was a one-lap overtime, one chance at overtime. One more time, Troy, and you will be banned, buddy. I will forcefully make it happen myself. 3 to go. We thought it was one attempt at overtime. It is 3.
Yeah, Wesley, I mean, look, Wesley,
these people are some idiots, man. I'm telling you.
I got you, but Wesley, I mean,
you were idiots. They got no friggin' life, I guess.
But Wesley, you were my mentor. You are my mentor. You still are my mentor.
We try our best to literally have an idea of what the structure is, what the format is. If something changes, it literally was told to us 1 overtime. They now moved it to 3. I get it. Probably, Jacob, the NASRA 500 will probably be unlimited because we know they probably will. So
I mean, he gets down to the end of it. We may end up having 10 of them bad boys. I wouldn't be surprised.
Troy Elliott shows his true colors right there. Now we know what alliance you're on, my friend. PGR, the people that acted like they were our friends and then backstabbers. That proves my case right there. That's all I needed to know. Thank you, Troy. You are the weakest link.
Okay.
You're just jealous because we knocked you out of the water. Now I know, Jacob. All right, let's try it again. Yeah. Let's try it again. Let's go back to green. This is second attempt at overtime. There will be one more attempt at an overtime, and that's it. One more.
We'll see kind of what happens out of this right here and see what happens. And, even though there's been, some beef and trolls and all that, I mean, honestly, this race has still been fantastic. I mean, we've seen some great stuff up there at the front, 3 wide, a couple of times even 4 wide, seen a couple good saves, a couple of Dukes of Hazzard moves through the grass. We've seen it all. I mean, literally, here in this race, we've seen aggressive moves, aggressive blocks. Logan York been one of them that's kind of been doing those aggressive blocks as well. But Ethan Eckert up here at the front. Matthew Dula sitting right there in the 3rd spot as well. Diedrich, I should say, KD right there in 4th. And then Kenny Real sitting in 5th. Transfer spot still held on by MDW. Matthew David Wood back there in 20th. Cody Nagels back there with Michael Sturgill, Matt Garrett, bunch of guys right here that are really going to have to make a last-ditch effort right here, Wesley Outland, to make it into the 3 p.m. Eastern time race that is the NASRA 500.
Back underway. Overtime number 2. This is the second attempt. We will go again if we cannot get the white flag. It is York on the outside. On the bottom is Eckert. Eckert on the inside with Dula. They work their way to the back straightaway. Jacob, so far they hold in form. We're taking 20. And they're all in line perfectly. Hopefully we can finish this one out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as York's going to go from the top down to the bottom, jump down in front of Eckert. Here comes Dula on that inside lane, looking for the white flag here for the final duel. All of it, and get ready for the big one. Here this evening, white flag is York, and it's KD at the front.
Final time. The West Texas Pepper Trainers white flag. They wrecked behind them. However, they took the white flag. The final lap to determine 20 goes on, Jacob, to the back straightaway. Diedrich leads.
Diedrich still leads. Here comes York on that inside, but Dustin Shepard's going to be right in front of him. Now Boss on the top side. Eckert jumps up. They try to make moves. Doorbang 3 and 4. Still Doorbang in 3 and 4. Shepard on the inside. KD up top on 4.
Diedrich to the bottom, falling. Here they come to the line. He gets it back below the yellow line. That's something that might be looked at, but he was also being forced there, battling with Ethan Eckert and Jackson Bice. We'll see what the call is. Obviously, we know they enforced that yellow line, Jacob, not to advance your position. And now we got cars wrecking. Ethan Eckert and Jackson Bice crash coming down off of turn number 2. This race is over. Blanchard's towing and repair.
Wow.
Duel 2. Look at this finish again, Jacob. I think this is under review here.
There's a good possibility that's under review, and possibly the battle for the transfer spot is going to be possibly under review. And we'll see it right here. There they go. Eckert goes down right here. And KD goes all the way down below the double yellow line. His left side tires down there. Not 100% whether or not he's going to get busted for that one or not, Wesley Outland. I've seen it done in the past where, they get busted for going below the double yellow line. But if we can, real quick, Dean, I want to go back and look at this transfer spot, if it's okay with Wesley. Go back and watch this. As Josh Ball got that transfer spot, watch this chaos that we're going to see literally coming off of turn 4. Watch this right here. Ball's back here. He's got all these guys with him. They're going to line up. MDW right there. He barely got in himself. They're spinning coming off of 4. Ball's going to shoot the middle right here. And then after this, there is literally, they wreck right there at the line. Ball made a move on the outside. Joshua Suss was in. He was in until he was not. Got passed by 1 or 2 of them right there. From the entrance of the trough to the line, he lost out on 2 spots, and that's going to end up costing him a shot to try to be in the NASRA 500. That will be it for him.
We need to take a break. We need to confer with our NASRA officials. They are having a conversation about the finish right now. We need to confer with race control, and we will let you know the verdict when we come back from a break. Because Caden Diedrich is celebrating, but he might not be the winner of duel number 2. We're back from Daytona to give you the verdict next.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Listen, I got a couple of things I need to say before we go over the results. First of all, I want to say I was in no way attacking PGR. My apologies. Troy Elliott tried to make himself think he was part of PGR, and it got me ruffled the wrong way. So I apologize. Secondly, the powers that be at NASRA have determined that the finish of the podium will stand. He was pushed below the double yellow line, so the finish of the podium 3 is correct. So it will be Caden Diedrich, the winner, Jackson Bice, and Ethan Eckert, the top 3. However, 17th on to 21st, 22nd, Jacob, is under review. That means this race is not official yet. They're vigorously looking at the finishing order to determine who will be the top 20.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting right there. We always love controversy, Weston. We always have. Or at least I have, anyway. I'm trying to pick your spirits up just a little bit here, Wes. I'm trying to do all I can.
Well, I'm all good, brother. I'm ready to get some lunch. But in the chat box,
I hear
if
you.
you're being negative, let us know what you're eating for lunch. Who's got the best lunch plan? I think I'm going to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I think so.
Ramen noodles work out pretty good.
Caden Diedrich, a Vegemite sandwich for Mr. Dean Hompton. Caden Diedrich is the winner. As we said, he was pushed below the double yellow line. It is official. Jackson Bice will finish second. Ethan Eckert third. We got them coming up after the Florida Cabinet Distributors Victory Lane and the CRN post-race interviews. Dustin Shepard, Matthew Doolin, top 5. Keith Bradley, the animal, is in. Logan York, Kenny Real, Nathan Harper, Ryan Johnson, Philip Martin, Sterling Thies, Tucker McClendon, Tristan Bruce, Josh Nelms are in for the top 16, Jacob. It is right now between it is now official. Everybody's in now. Okay, it is now official after checking numerous replay and video review. Josh Nelms, Austin Green, JD Larson, and MDW Matthew David Wood, Jacob, along with John Ball, are the 20 drivers in to the Great American Sim Race later on this afternoon.
I'm telling you, that's heartbreak right there for Joshua Suss, Dylan Cardatis, who was right there. I mean, literally photo finishes at the line for a transfer spot after all of them was wrecking, all kinds of chaos and everything else. But hate to see it for those guys and everybody right here below right here. But, I mean, good showing by them all week to be able to make it this far. Joshua Suss, 21st. Dylan Cardatis, 22nd. Cody Reed, 23rd. Matt Garrett, 24th. Michael Sturgill will finish 25th. John Darnell, the third. Hey, baby, at least you made it this far. Good showing by Darnell, the third. He will finish 26th. George Jewell, Shasta's man, will get 27th. Matt Cherry, 28th. Dane Hagan, 29th. And Garrison Hogan rounds out the top 30.
Ronnie Foster, Taylor Peacock, Cody Naggles, Nick Seipel, Robert Richards, Brandon Broadfoot, Nathaniel Landwehr, top 37. Rest of the cars that did not make it, but a tough break for our buddy, Mr. Man, a lot of good cars. Nathaniel Landwehr, as we mentioned, Nick Sipple, Robert Richards, Brandon Broadfoot out, Landwehr, Andrew Santo, Matt Lee, busted on pit road, could never recover from that. The man out of Maine, not running the NASRA 500. And our last place driver, Jeff Merck, internet issues, lost massive power internet failure, kicked him off from the server. He is unable to finish the race. He'll be dead last. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's now go to the podium and grab our top 3. And we will have about a 90-minute break before the NASRA 500 begins at about 2:45 Eastern, 3 Eastern for the green flag. Let's go to victory lane now. Caden Diedrich. Caden, congratulations. Listen, I know you got pushed below the line, racing feverishly, battling, but sometimes it ends up like that, man. But at the end, Caden, you are the winner. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
And I believe it's $150 you also pocket from NASRA winning the duel. What are you going to do with some of that money?
Good question. I have no idea. Honestly.
Bare money.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad we could get it done. Thanks to everyone for putting this event together. So far, I've had a lot of fun. It was great having the help at the end, being able to make moves, work with my friends to get up there. But job's not finished yet, so this is just one step, but the big step's here in about an hour or two, a couple hours, so that's where I'm focused on right now. But it was great to get the win here. I had a good time.
Caden, we've asked a bunch of drivers, a lot of drivers, some of the big names, some of the guys, that's been in NASRA for quite some time, what their opinion is of this event. What's your opinion? How do you, just a long week, I know that much, but, what's your opinion on how this event and everything else, what would it mean to you to win it?
Well, I think it's great that we can get a bunch of people to come together to run a big event like this with such big prize pools and get all these entries. I think it's great. I've enjoyed every step of the way so far, and hopefully I could continue to enjoy it as we go into the future.
CRN post-race interviews rolling on. Caden, I got to ask you this question. Now, what do you do differently, or what do you keep the same for the 500 coming up later on in about 90 minutes from now?
Well, maybe just tune down the aggression a bit for the first bit because it's a lot longer, obviously, than this. But towards the end, it's just the same thing. Not much different.
All right, buddy. Before we let you go, please thank your sponsors, and we will see you in a little bit, sir.
All right.
You have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, are you there?
I think he left.
Oh, okay. I think
Didn't have nobody think.
I think he just got kicked off the internet. Wow, the Caden Diedrich, man. He was talking, and then all of a sudden he sounded like a robot. All right, Caden, thanks, buddy. Let's grab
He
down
had the same internet as Jeff Merck, I guess.
Well, I hope not. That's a bad sign of things to come, ain't it? Let's go down to second place and grab, I believe, Ethan Eckert. Ethan, you will finish in second, buddy. You're taking the race, and obviously the smarter, big picture. I'm sorry, Jackson Bice. Jackson, you'll finish in second. You'll finish second, sir, in that Subway car. Is that what you're having for lunch?
Probably.
Little Subway, eat fresh. Jackson, bigger picture, obviously. I know you wanted to win the duel, but obviously it's to make that top 20 spots for the big race later, isn't it?
Yes. Just tried to stay up front the whole race. We didn't really have the best work with our teammates, but we all got in.
Jackson, you talked about that right there as far as, the teammates aspect of it and everything else. And, we've seen, races, obviously with super speedways and everything, always try to help your teammates and everything else. Do you feel like that you have to help your teammate? When we get ready to race later on this afternoon, do you feel like you got to help your teammate or you're required to, or can you just kind of do your own thing?
I feel like as the later the race goes on, the teammates understand that you got to do what you got to do to get to the front. But whenever you're up there working with everyone, you try to stick together.
Well, buddy, before we let you go, Jackson, please thank your sponsors, and we'll see you for the 500 coming up here in about an hour and a half, sir.
All right. Thank you to PBG. But that's all I got.
There you go. We'll see what Jackson Bice will be able to do in that 0:33. Jackson Bice in his Toyota gets it done. Again, the driver there second in Blanchard's Towing and Repair. Duel number 2. Of course, he resides from, Wetumpka, Alabama. Wetumpka, Alabama. There he is, right there. We spoke to him earlier, got to know him earlier in the week. Let's go down to Ethan Eckert. Ethan Eckert of the 012 entry. He will finish in third. Driver, of course, out of Chicago, Illinois, PBG, the Windy City. And Ethan, we were talking about teammates, and Bice was talking about you, and you guys fight your way into the 500, man. How you feeling on the podium third?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing good. Just tried to stay up front the whole race, work with my friends, and get it done.
And Ethan, I asked you the same question about that right there. It's just like I did with Jackson. Do you feel like you're going to have to be required? If y'all got strict team orders, if y'all made it to the NASRA 500, that you have to help your teammates, or do you feel like you can kind of do your own thing if need be?
Me and Nightmare, we're going to help each other out as much as we can. Most of my teammates from my actual team didn't make it, so Freddie missed the LCQ last night because I'm not really too sure why. He just wasn't paying attention or something. Cody got wrecked on the last lap here. I think Vince is in. I think Miles is in. Not quite too sure who else. I'm definitely going to work with Caden for it and just try to help out the other PGR guys that run money races every night with me.
Ethan, final question. Please thank your sponsors, buddy, because they're telling us we want to get off the air quickly to reset things and have a break for lunch. Is this the time now where you and your teammates or Nightmare Esports or whoever for PGR, you guys start to come together and now start do some team racing now with the long 500-mile race next?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to try to stay up front the whole time, control it, make sure we don't have people we don't know up there leading because we don't know what they're going to do, and just try to keep it and get it done. That's pretty much it. And for shout out to Nightmare Esports, PGR, all the other money racing communities that race every night. Yeah, that's all I got. You guys for broadcasting, NASRA for putting this on. Ton of great payouts and all that. So happy overall.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Nightmare Esports has definitely made a big name, and they have made some noise in the world of NASRA sanctioning this week. No doubt of that. Number 12 machine of Eckert will be in the Great American Sim Race. Well, there's a look at the results. We know the top 20 are official. There was a little controversy at the end with the top 3 going below the double yellow line. Dietrich was forced. They said it was official. Bice, Eckert all on the podium. Little controversy. Obviously really looked at Jacob Reeves in the final spots from 16th to 20th, but they said it's all fair in game as well. It'll be Daniel Falkingham and Kyler Wynn, Jacob on the front row. 210 entries, now down to 40. The Great American Sim Race, less than an hour and 20 minutes from now, my friend. Your final take of tonight to this afternoon, buddy. Good morning to you. Good afternoon. Go get some lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Might go into, I'm not going to crack open a cold beer. I'll wait till later on this evening. But anyway, awesome racing right there. Literally, in both of those duels right there. Some of the cleanest racing, some of the hardest racing, some wild moves. I think honestly, folks, I think each and every one of you got a taste of what you're going to see here in about an hour or so when we get ready to crank them up and turn them loose here tonight for the NASRA 500.
And by the way, I just want to say again, apologies to anybody that I offended in the PGR esports world. The troll, if it's a troll or not a real person or whatever comment was made, I definitely lashed at what they said. And obviously, I think they were trying to start some friction there. We have nothing but love and respect for the PGR esports people. Michael Triscaro, Matthew Baker, I consider them all friends. We're glad they're here. NASRA supported them, and I appreciate them supporting us. And that was totally out of line. And on my response, I apologize as well. We are going to take a break. God knows, my goodness, we need one. We are coming back in about an hour's time. Pre-race in about 65 minutes. 2:45 Eastern. Green flag. Starting lineup at 3. The inaugural Great American Sim Race, the NASRA 500, presented by Glass Mechanic, is all that is left. And for you other 210 entries that did not make the final 40, thank you so much for participating. We appreciate your support. Hopefully, there's always next year, God willing, if it does happen. For Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, Joshua Suss, Robert Richards, everybody in NASRA on race directing, officiating. For Mr. Bigglestein Hopton, Jacob Reeves, I am Wesley Outland. History will be made in over an hour. The NASRA 500 is all that's left, and we'll have it for you coming up. Thank you, and good evening. Enjoy your lunch.